Well, hello everybody, it's Shawn Petite and I'm so glad to be back with you for the month of July, and we're going to have some fun with yupo and high flow acrylics today. We're going to create these rich, luscious, wonderful pieces, and then we're going to move on in the next weeks and create with them. So I hope you'll sit back and enjoy creating today with me. So we're going to be using two sizes of yupo today, 9 by 12 and 11 by 14, and Donna Downey has those in her shop. And then we're going to be using a multiple of stencils, all different kinds of stencils, and of course the wonderful high flows that I'm learning to absolutely love. A brayer, some towels or paper towels to clean your surface and brayer, alcohol, mark making tools, fine liner, just a lot of fun stuff to really have fun and create with. So first off, I start out really kind of slow, and you need very little high flow acrylic. And I always start with a dark layer first because it gives you the most options to create the most interest, and you'll see in just a few minutes what I'm talking about. But a little goes a long way. And I want to mention too that as you're creating on your yupo, short, small, I was going to say brush strokes, but short, small strokes with your brayer helps create that grungy look. If you use long strokes like I did just a few minutes ago, you kind of get these long long shapes, and it sometimes doesn't add a whole lot of interest. So short brush strokes or strokes with your brayer work really well to give you kind of that grungy faded look, and the more you do it, the more faded it looks. So with yupo, you can grab a stencil, you can mark, you can do all kinds of things. It gives you all kinds of working time. Grab some alcohol on a rag and run it across your stencils, and it gives you some amazing clear images through your stencils. Once I do that, once I take that paint off with the stencils, I like to go back in and add some color so that it's not stark white. And this is just a dance. We're just playing back and forth with color. I'm using quinacridone nickel azo gold. It looks so beautiful on top of that black. It just gives it a real time-worn feel. You can see that I'm using a credit card, my other tools to write into that nickel azo gold. All of these little things add additional texture and interest to every single layer. It's just magic. This is kind of like jelly printing, where I could just go on and on forever. Make sure to have your finger over your bottle when you shake up your high flow acrylics, because they are very high flow, and it is important to shake your high flow acrylics. It's got a little ball in the bottle. It helps you get a good mixture when it comes out. Now I'm putting down some alcohol over my color here, and I go back to alcohol often because it is just so wonderful how it creates these spots in our creation, how it can lighten up paint. It is wonderful. It takes off the paint. I just love it, positively love it. So now I want to just continue to do the dance and add color, and as I'm doing this, I'm thinking about how each color is going to react with the color underneath. So when I'm putting quinacridone magenta on top of that nickel azo gold, it goes a little orange, and I love that color. Love. So keep that in mind as you're layering your color. Adding variety, just continuing to do the dance. Now here you see that I am taking off some of the paint. That's the wonderful thing about yupo. It's never done until it's done. You always seem to have this workability, and so the beauty of creating on yupo is creating that wonderful contrast, and so I didn't feel like it had enough contrast, so I just put some alcohol on my towel and wiped that back and start on over and just continue to add the color and layers that I'm looking for. That's what I love about working with yupo, because your options, it's just so fun, because if you don't like something that you do, you can just simply wipe it off with some alcohol. Look at those beautiful drops. Oh, and again, as I drop that alcohol on there, it does create that white space, so I go back over it again just so that it's not super stark white. When I spray that alcohol on there, it does give me the ability, again, like I said, to lift the paint so that it's not quite so dark. But I'm really going for a grungy feel, a grungy look, and that the teal on top of that black is just so grungy good. I will tell you that as you use your towel with alcohol on your stencil, if your stencils are dirty like mine, you're going to get some residual underneath as you pick it up, but for me, I love that. All of the supplies and stencils and everything that I'm using is going to be listed on Donna Downey's blog. The link will be below in the description box. This stencil of Donna Downey's is just the coolest, and it for this application, it is awesome, just awesome. I love it. Look at that. And I always say is use your stencils as you like. So I wanted more, so I just used the extra pieces around that stencil and added more to it. Your stencils are a guide. I wanted to bring in just a tiny bit more purple and contrast, and I know it looks like it's getting really dark, but once it dries and once I can pull up a little bit more of when I spray the alcohol on, it kind of lightens it up immediately. It is just gorgeous. So remembering that short strokes help with the interest and keeping things not too muddy and helping it not look like you're just rolling a brayer across the yupo page will help you in constructing a beautiful, beautiful page here. And you can see as to me, I wanted it to be a little bit lighter, so I just spray some alcohol on there and it lifts right up. All right, so we're going to speed things up now that you kind of got the gist of things, and we're going to create a couple more pieces just so that you can see your options as far as creating. There's just so much. I'm working on a larger piece. This is 11 by 14. The previous one was 9 by 12. And again, all of those scratches and layers really just add to the interest and yumminess of each of these creations that we're creating, and I cannot wait to share with you what we create with them. I'm really adding some vibrancy in this one with that blue, the cerulean blue hue, and deep violet, just some contrast. And again, I wanted more. I knew that I wanted to bring in some green gold, and I didn't want it to conflict with the blue, so I just wiped that back. And again, I've used my stencils and I've not covered it up with any color, so I'm going to come back in here and add some quinacridone, nickel azo gold, and green gold, and just kind of warm it up so that those spots aren't so stark. The other thing that I did here too was once I brayered on my paint, I used my paper towel and just laid it down, and it gave it this amazing texture. Now wait till you see this stencil. This is one of Donna Downey's stencils, and it is fantastic in this application. Look at that. It just makes me happy. This is Donna Downey's Flourish stencil, and oh my goodness. Happiness, happiness. So again, I want to put some color in there, and I'm not over brayering that space. I want to have it have some texture. Add some nickel azo gold. Look at that. Is that not fabulous? I wanted to pull up just a tiny bit because it was looking really dark in certain spots, so I grabbed one of my stencils just for some bits and pieces here and there. Now I'm using a fine liner and just doing some scribbly script. Just adds to the interest and the fun. All right. Now let's move on to, this is another 9 by 12, and we're going a little bit faster each time because each time it's pretty much the same thing, but I wanted to show you some of the options as far as stencils go on how what you can use. Now this piece didn't actually turn out exactly like I wanted it to, but I'm just putting down some gold there. Some transparent gold. Oh, and the shimmer on it is fantastic. But I wanted to include this, even though this piece wasn't, it just didn't make me too happy. It was okay, it just wasn't great, because we're going to use this in another project in the coming weeks. And so I want you to be able to see that not every piece may be a masterpiece, but that you can use them for wonderful, wonderful projects. So now I'm back to a big one, large 11 by 14, and I'm using my mark making tools, my alcohol, and trying to work with different colorways, mainly blues here. I always go to my favorite colors. We always have favorite colors. Lots of stencil work on this piece. And again, all the stencils and everything will be listed in the description. So I hope you enjoyed today's tutorial on yupo and how fun it is, and I hope that you experiment and get out your tools and have fun and get some yupo paper and just really have fun creating. And next week I'll be back, and we are going to create some amazing projects and have some more fun with yupo and high flow acrylics. Thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed today, give me a thumbs up or a like and subscribe, and head on over to Donna Downey's blog to get all of the details, descriptions, supplies, and everything over there. Have a great day.